Hey guys, this is Fluff, and today I'm going to be doing a Wisp replay analysis. In this video I'm going to be talking about the strategy, my thought process, and I'm also going to be analyzing all of the mistakes and things that I can be improving in this game as well. Wisp is very strong in this meta. It's definitely due to the fact that he's a great dual lane hero. He provides really awesome sustain to your team, picks up really nice utility items, has lots of versatility in that regard, and can counter initiate pretty much everything that you want from a support. Wisp is likely to be one of the most banned heroes in the upcoming majors, and even TI in its current state. So I hope you enjoy my analysis, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Alright, so we're loading into the game now. I'm going to focus more on just what I'm thinking, and less about the strategy and the item build. There's definitely room for analyzing that, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go through my thought process, speed it up, and try to consolidate the information as fast as possible. Alright, so basically, I'm deciding to go to the bottom lane. What I'm thinking now is that I see that they probably likely have an Axe and Skywrath in the off lane. This is a really common trend, so I think that top lane is very, very hard for Lycan, one of the hardest lanes possible. Also one of the hardest counters to him in general. Then bottom lane, I know that it's probably likely to be a PL and Jakiro. Jakiro's a really strong zoner. With a PL, PL can always double walk off the napalm, so I'm always wondering about that. Right now I believe I was adjusting something outside of the game, don't mind the camera. Should be picking up. I pick up this is the standard item build now. Double gauntlet, couple bits of regen. All of these extra items that you have here contribute to your laning effectiveness so much compared to just rushing the bottle, because a lot of times if, let's say that your offlaner took a lot of damage, you use 3 bottle charges and now you have nothing, you have no more regen, and you didn't get the effectiveness on terms of efficiency with the mana. The HP you're not really using for yourself, but in this way you're both able to trade, and you have these nice tools for turning things around. So I'm not really expecting to win bottom lane that much, but I'm expecting to get my Batrider a good game and hopefully get him to a Blink Dagger. On top, I'm expecting them to just try to hold their own, but I don't think that lane's going to go very well for them. And then in the mid lane, Sniper versus Lina is kind of a wash, but I would imagine Lina has a bit of a advantage in that she can nuke the waves out, and her range is quite good, so there's no range advantage for the Sniper in this lane. I also believe the base damage is going to be lower, but pretty much the idea of the Wisp here is just you follow around you dual lane, you follow around your offlaner. You want to give him as much advantage as possible, and you do this through giving him confidence with the tether, giving him your regen, and then giving him also the ability to dive with your tools and just understanding how to use your regeneration. So in this situation, like I said, if the PL was a little bit more of a more susceptible carry, then I probably would have just played very, very aggressively. But knowing that he's just going to build up the stacks with the napalm and just be able to regen up, or just remove the napalms in general, double walking off. I know that I'm here to just buy space for the Batrider. I know that in the Sky versus Wisp matchup, I can't really trade on him because every hit he's right clicking back at me. But as long as my HP is healthy to the point where I can get Spirit Lance as well, I'm good. I know that he got double walk at level 1, so I'm totally fine sitting at this HP. And then I want to save my salve as long as possible, because when you do pop the salve, you want to try to get the maximum effectiveness as well for your teammate, and it's even better when it's in an engagement. So constantly I'm just keeping my tether radius. I'm keeping an eye on, okay, so I know PL is level 2 now. I know that Skywrath, once he hits level 2, it's very, very effective. And then as you can see, I was cycling in these shared tangos I was pooled, so getting the max effectiveness. I'm sure we're both aware, because this is a high MMR game, that the bad knows that he's not going to be able to like dive the PL unless the PL makes a big mistake in terms of double walk. So let's speed up ahead. Obviously getting the double runes at 2 minutes, that's what you should do in your support. And then Batrider finds an opening, but the Skywrath just barely gets away. The entire time I'm just thinking like, oh, I need to get level 2. Yeah, I'm picking out to my teammate. And then I'm going to be working towards my Soul Ring and my Magic Stick, which is pretty much the standard build now. So in this situation, you know, people will say like, okay, well, you're stealing all the experience from your laner. You shouldn't do this. And you can see here that I'm using myself and my bat does find an opening where the PL can't react. So I'm just following him up, giving him confidence. I'm gonna pop my Fairy Fire early, and the reason for this is because when it comes down to pubs, and in this game I was talking to him, I realized that we were gonna have some communication issues because we weren't having clean communication. So instead of like letting him get low and trying to be clutch, I just pop it to give him the confidence, and that's something that you have to think about when you're playing Wisp, especially in a pub game. Now in this situation, again, I pop my stick. I'm not trying to be clutch. I'm just giving him the HP that he needs. I wasn't able to save him. They did pick him off, but you know, it's fine. I TP out because there's no way to stop me. Get my Soul Ring. Soul Ring's super nice. Gives you a little bit extra regen, and then you get the burst regen on top of the bat. So this whole time I know that top's pretty screwed. Telling them I have no TP. I intend to help them sooner or later because in the bottom lane, I know, like, again, Bat Rider versus PL is not too great for Bat. We did get a kill, but that's just for the PL's mistakes. There's not much for us to pressure besides the support. And I did give my Bat Rider a pretty decent start, so I'm pretty happy with what I've done. So my what I'm thinking about now is like, how can I help my top laner because it's going so badly? But you can see we're still applying tons of pressure, and there I was abusing a mechanic. Not sure if you, well, it's not really abusing, but it's a mechanic. So here I did have a tether. It's invisible, and a lot of people, if you didn't know, you can break the tether, and then if it was a long enough time, you can change your target because your tether cooldown will be off. So always keep that in mind, and that pretty much bailed me out of that situation, thinking about and understanding that mechanic. There's nothing I can do for Bat Rider. If anything, I'll just come in and die. So in the end, he's just dead. I'm gonna go back to base, finish up my stick, and then I'm going to consider helping top out now. And Bat Rider should know that, like, there's not much I can do for him there. I see that top's being heavily pressured, even Dove at this point, and I'm just pretty much getting ready. In my mind, I'm having my shop open, trying to buy a salve, but I can't, because they're going so early. I cannot buy the salve straight up. I'm just limiting myself on the gold, trying to keep this guy alive, keeping the tether and the overcharge rather, and then knowing that my passive regens might be enough to just bail him out of the situation. And I'm just trying to give him as much support as possible, and kiting them, rotating out my Wisp balls and rotating back in so that it will hit the axe. And then now at this point, they're pretty much generally out of position. I can tether anything I want. And then, yeah, it just all comes down to kiting at this point. But as you can see, my mentality is fully shaped on what the game looks like. If bottom lane was extremely pressurable, let's say that it was a very favorable matchup for Bat Rider, such as Bat into maybe a Terrorblade or something like this, I would just completely dive the crap out of bottom, dominate it with the Wisp Bat Rider combo, because Wisp just happens to be one of the best dual laners in the game. And then once I've given him significant advantage, pretty much pressure the carry out of lane, I would then rotate to my safe lane, regardless of if their matchup was poor or not. Or I would even think about mid, because yeah, that's just, you need to think about where you can get the advantages, and then who needs the help, and then at what point does your help not really scale exponentially. Because, you know, if my Bat Rider's owning, he's likely to just continue owning. It's not like we're going to own that much harder. So now in this game, since we've cleared out the axe once or twice, we're still considering there's no lane to pressure bottom. No one needs to try. I'm going to go ahead and use it. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, we need to make sure that the axe doesn't feel comfortable in this lane. And by showing and just being active in this area as it supports, rotating between mid and top, and then as well as just stacking in between, this is about as effective as we can get. Now the axe does TP down, so we know Lycan is a free lane. Now I can focus my attentions on the mid, and yeah, and here, because of my positioning, I'm able to help the mid at the time of need, and then give him the move speed and the attack speed to go ahead and kite this fight out. And this is all due to just reading the map and knowing where the best place to be and what to do is. So now at this point, I'm just mostly reacting, seeing these opportunities and going for them. It's very easy for Wisp to just pick off the targets at range, because with the new way that the wisp balls work is that, like, if you saw there, normally normally you would have to like stop for a moment to like change your direction, but because they go out immediately as soon as I press it, and at a quick pace and a larger radius, it's easy for me to deal with this. So yeah, we'll just get a couple of kills here, and I'm going to be working towards the Helmet Dominator, and also making sure that my teammate knows that I want the tome. However, I believe in this game he took the tome. I relocate my back because I see play. He wasn't really quite aware, because like I said, our communication was a little broken. But he does have the ability to get kills here. I'm just kiting, staying out of range. I know that it's unlikely that I'll die, and then I just get out. But that's all because the Bat Rider wasn't really on the same page. That would have otherwise been a really nice play for us. And I also forgot to mention that I picked up the infused raindrops, because as you can see, there's so much magic damage coming out for the enemy team, and I want to just be protected against Laguna Blades and Dragon Slaves. I'm still quite squishy, although with this build you have quite a bit more HP than normal. That I see the regen top. Now I'm just constantly, as a Wisp player, constantly want to type out like, yo, I have no relocate for 80 seconds, just ping it out non-stop. And then I'm just going to abuse the mechanics of regen here. Tether onto the cart, trying to get as much DPS as I can out of it, and regen. Getting a couple extra hits, it's very significant when it comes down to pushing, forces out a glyph. And I can also do the same thing for my sniper. So free assassinate, why not? Just make sure I'm out of the Dragon Slave range. Make sure that my sniper's alive. And I'm making sure that he knows that I don't have relocate up as well. With my support here, he feels really comfortable. And normally in these situations, he could be poked down by things like Dragon Slave, Skywrath Nuke. But overall, yeah, just it's where I need to be. The items I need to work towards is my Helmet Dominator. You don't need boots anymore in Wisp. And one thing I did forget to do was buy an urn this game, and I will buy it later. I would have actually went urn after the Soul Ring, just because it's a very effective item here. Nothing I can do for this guy. Just giving as much support as possible, staying out of range. But yeah, I would have preferred to go for the urn. It would be much more effective in combination with this early raindrop, just for efficiency's sake, and it would give me nice stats, and like the Helmet Dominator is not extremely important, whereas the urn can have a lot of utilities in the early game, especially with all these, how volatile it is, all these kills. So in this situation, I know the axe has a blink dagger, so I'm using my balls to zone him out. I run towards him, which is not something he would expect. He was expecting me to keep running away so that he could get the blink call, and he definitely would have, seeing as I don't have boots. But by playing up into him and knowing that I can cancel his blink dagger, I completely destroyed his initiation potential. And now I'm kind of just looking around for opportunities. We do see that they smoked, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be ready to relocate, but they made a really quick play on the Lycan. Luckily, he didn't get hit by the Skywrath Nuke, and then I'm gonna go into this fight tethering the bat because I want to give him mana. I saw his mana pool was low, so I Soul Ring him immediately so he can continue fighting. And then I'm considering like how I'm going to use my relocate here. Now, what I want to do is relocate my sniper out of situations because he's my squishiest target, but unfortunately I didn't have mana, and I wasn't aware, so I just ended up blowing my relocate for nothing. But in those situations, even though the sniper was so high in the HP, because he's caught out and not in the zone where he wants to be, I need to be able to relocate him. So now I'm just tethering up, trying to support my sniper, get him in a better position. I find the Skywrath, let my team know, and then, you know, ultimately he will die. So as you can see, like 13 minutes in, 2-0 and 10 on the Wisp. No critical mistakes. Yes, I did miss a relocate, but as far as what I can do for the game, I'm doing as much as I can. And then maybe I would prefer to have an urn. The urn's natural regeneration, the effectiveness of the damage over time, as well as the heal, could have been quite useful in that last fight, and I definitely would have had it. So another mistake. Again, you always want to think about how you're going to benefit your teammates. So in this situation, the line low on mana, give him the Soul Ring charge, who cares? Like, it doesn't really hurt me. I have Helmet Dominator regen, and it would help him a lot. So I'm always looking for opportunities to support my teammates in that way. Now, things have settled down, so I'm looking for Helmet Dominator creeps. Considering what I can get, Ursa seems fine. I get the Aura. I can isolate the real PL as well. And then I'm just setting up ganks with my teammate. I love heroes that can blink. Now, I got picked off here, but I have so much HP. And this is another thing about this build. The HP, the regen, the mitigation that you have, just all combined, it makes you a lot tankier than people generally expect from a Wisp. So it's quite nice. And then I'm microing my creep as well. Like I have my creep on set to 2, and then I have my hero as 1, and then I have my hero and my creep as 3, so I can control it however I see please. In this fight, I'm gonna slow it down. I'll reset this real quick. So in this situation, they're going for the pick off because they did see the axe DPing in, but there's not much for me to do here. What I'm waiting for is I'm positioning for a relocate, whether my Lycan or my sniper gets caught out. These are the heroes I need to save. I cannot prioritize a Bat Rider, seeing as he used lasso and it would completely isolate my teammates. So in this situation, I'm playing the support role. I will throw out the balls if I need to, and I will relocate if there's a situation, but I need to be picky with who I'm saving, because who I save matters a lot more than getting the save in general. I'm happy to let my supports die and my 3 position die. They're not that important to fight. As well as, you know, another fact is that I can't really save a line if he gets bursted down. So this entire game I'm thinking like, okay, I need to keep getting to my next items, using overcharging my creep. But now here's the situation. I see the relocate, save my sniper, or my Lycan, and even though there's a possibility we can just turn there, my initial reaction should pretty much always be bail him the hell out in situations like this. Because when he's initiating, I don't know who's there. I don't know when the Laguna Blade's coming out. I don't know Dragon Slave, or if they brought in a 3rd hero. It's always better to err on the side of caution when you're playing the Wisp, and you always need to be thinking about this and like being ready. So like as a Wisp, I'm wanting to stay near my core so that I'm able to heal them up in clutch situations or give them the mitigation and potentially save them as well with relocate. That's always on my mind. So you hear the axe is not noticing my Helmet Dominator. He wants to blink on the Lycan, but I break him because I know that I saw him hovering around the top tier 1, and I use my creep to cancel the blink dagger. So this is like a way that you can do so many things playing Wisp in this way, just manipulating your map control and dominance with this creep. So I realized I need to get Earn. I swapped in my infused raindrop, something you need to do. Deny the bounty rune because likely no one on my team will get it. And I'm gonna tether up to my or be near my sniper just to give it a little bit of regen, making sure that I get my items. And then I'm considering my next phase of items here. So you can see that I already have like a hood queued up and a solar crest. Solar crest is amazing against PL, and even the right clicks of Lina, and it gives us really nice roast potential. So that's something that I really do want to have. And as a Wisp, you have versatility where you can pick up items like Crimson Guard or Pipe or Solar Crest, like just anything that makes you a little bit more tanky and gives your team more utility. So that's kind of like the mindset that I always have when I'm playing a Wisp. Just make it hard for them to bring me down and be useful for my team. So now like, now I finally do pick up the Urn. That's helping. That helps a lot. Like it will have impact in the game. I want to pick up a hood at least because there's so much magic damage, and even if I picked up a crest, I would not be really that much tankier than I already am, except for the PL. And this is not the point where PL is like, this is not the point where PL will like right click down because he's still farming up. So I'm much more susceptible to the magic damage. That's what I'm thinking about. And another great thing about these changes to the Wisp are that I can now like tether my creep, and I don't need boots ever, or just tether my teammate. And then the fact that you don't have to worry about this is so nice. Now at level 10, I pick up this plus 60 damage talent. Yeah, the plus 25% can be good, but I view it as like a passive talent where I can get a lot more GPM by using this plus damage talent. Like you see with my creep, I can just overcharge it and farm out neutral camps. I can even kill ancients if I want. And this is how you can continue to scale and stack or farm into this game. And the items that Wisp picks up are extremely useful. I mean, all the utility items that I listed beforehand, those are things that will have a huge impact on the team fight effectiveness of your lineup, on how tanky you are, how out of position you can be and still recover, and that's always on my mind. So as you can see, lots of people are farming on my team, so I will take space if there is it, but if there's no space, then I will position nearby my carry. And even when I am taking space, I'm usually taking just a little bit at a time, like in the jungle with my creep, and then I'm staying patient and ready to relocate out. So as you can see, I'm not automatically tethered to my creep here because the Lycan's pushed out so far. I know that if he gets jumped by axe, he's likely to need my help. If he gets set up by the Lina or anything like that, he will need my help. But now that the fight's happened, I know I'm in this position here where I can relocate if I need to. I'm going to take the catapult because I anticipate we win this fight. It looked very strong for us and I want to continue the push. I'm just making sure that I can relocate out. I'm keeping an eye on the sniper, keeping an eye on the Lycan. I want to give him the regen. I saw that the PL did back out. And then I was thinking like we might have had a bigger push off of this, better team fight, but in fact we didn't, so it's fine. Having a catapult is always nice, but it's not as useful in terms of utility and farming. So we do try to go for the Roche, but I think Lycan called for it, but the bat said to just leave. I'm totally fine with that. I'm thinking about my next items, like I know that the hood would be pretty nice. But again, like if you look at the spread of the map, bat in top lane, 2 cores in our jungle, like there's nothing for me to farm, so while I have relocate, I'm just going to be ready for them. Just sticking nearby. But at the same time, I'm like thinking, how can I squeeze in a little bit of extra farm just so I can get up to my Helmet Dominator. My Lion pings out he wants Blink Dagger, so I do give him, not Helmet Dominator, the hood. He pings out he has a Blink soon, so I'm going to go ahead and give him these bounties. And because the way that my cores are playing, like ideally someone should be here, but because they're not, I'm just going to go ahead and take it. And this is all, a lot of this pushing potential is due to the fact that I do have that plus 60 damage talent. It's much faster, much more efficient. And yeah, I'm just looking around, seeing if I need to help anyone. But more importantly, I want to get the momentum on our side, because ideally a core is doing it, but they're not. So for me, that's just my opportunity to finish some items. But a fight's like potentially breaking out. I need to rotate over with my creep and be ready to relocate. I'm watching the sniper. I did see that they backed out, so I'm totally fine with this. And team decides to Roshan. Now in this situation, I'm trying to get the max effectiveness out of this regen, so I'm going to let my HP die a little bit down. And then pick it up. Using it on my sniper, my highest DPS hero. With the overcharge. And then kind of like being focused on the fight. Like I'm just following my team around, letting them decide like what course of action they want to take. They decide that they want to push top lane, and this is totally fine. This is a good play because we just did get the Aegis. The Bat Rider's deciding that he wants to play off map and go bottom lane, so he's telling us like, yo, I will be bottom if I find a pick relocate. So I'm readying myself here. I'm like, okay, I will relocate the sniper. As soon as he shows, then they should know that we're 4 top, and then that would be something to be worried about. So I'm cautious of this. They do see the Bat Rider. I know this, but my teammates don't know this. Like they're a little less skilled, so they don't understand the map. But as realistically, as soon as the Bat Rider shows, they should just be out of here. And yeah, so I eventually decide or get them to leave, and I'm like, Bat Rider needs to come if we're ever going to take a fight. So we all decide to just get out of here and push out the waves again. Now I have to say that in this game, Bat Rider did a pretty good job finding a pick, and especially in a really important target. So this is our opportunity. Axe is pretty much the one situation where and this is so unlucky we don't get the kill, but Axe is the hard counter to my cores, and it's my responsibility to be out of range at all times to relocate. So that's exactly what I'm planning to do. And now that he's gone, I can play more forward. I can play in range in the enemy's vision just to provide the overcharge if need be. And then yeah, so we're taking advantage of this. I'm setting up my catapult. This is exactly what we needed it for. I'm not going to give my Bat Rider mana because he has no lasso. Yeah, my tether does break here, but I was trying to heal my Lycan. Which I'm watching the axe. I know that he can come up, so I'm ready to relocate the sniper. Like you can see that I'm focusing my camera on the sniper. I see the axe, so like I'm keeping the range that where I can't. Like if you see right there, I'm keeping like a distance where I can tether him always, but not being out of position. So if you see how the Lina intersects here, if I'm AFKing waiting in this position, the Lina will kill me every time. So, or she will pick me off. So that's like something that you need to think about, is always the spacing as a Wisp. It's really important. Now in this situation, we do have Lycan Aegis. We told the team, let Lycan die, we'll bait it. I decide that I can help him turn that fight, but Sniper decides to just run in and die. So now my most important relocate target's not in the fight, and it's really sketchy. So I'm kind of monitoring from the side, seeing if I can help. And now that you can tether the BKB immunity heroes, it's really, really nice. I actually did come in to try to help him, but a really well-placed ice path grants me my first death of the game. And realistically, I could have let the Lycan die and have his Aegis expire like that in that way, but I decided that that kill was very easy if we just juked the ice path. However, the positioning of that map and the way that he placed it was just too good. So now I'm just dead, and I'm considering like, oh, 25 seconds I can relocate if something happens. I'm thinking like I might TP in and relocate out, or I might relocate in depending on the situation. So our teammates are respawning. I'm thinking, who can I go for? So I'm picking out this Lina, right? I'm gonna be up in 2 seconds, and unfortunately my battery dies right beforehand, so I'm deciding to relocate in, potentially use my urn charge. The Lina does scout it out, and yeah, like he gets out. So a lot of misfortunate events here. Even the Link is here to block the assassinate. So second death of the game, all in this one mistake from a team. So you know, these items are not effective because we're going in one by one, and they also have this really nice lineup against ours. We're also losing timings because that was our Aegis. That was Lycan generally wants to be able to push. PL is getting much stronger. He will be picking up the Heart of Taras rather soon, and at that point, like, I really wish that I have my Solar Crest, and maybe one team fight I would have it. But now I'm just thinking like, okay, what's my next timing? Level 15 Tome of Knowledge. So I'm gonna wait. It's not out of stock yet. I decide to get a creep, and I think the Satyr's fine because I can push out waves with it, and I can also use it to identify which PL is real. And I also go ahead and stack. So for me, I'm thinking like, if that was a troll creep, I probably wouldn't have taken it, because with the troll creep, it's like, it's very hard to isolate the PL, and it's very easy for him as well to turn it around. So right now I'm like, I really need the Solar Crest because this is my main defense. Ideally I would have had this timing much sooner, and that's part of the reason why I don't even go for pipe. Like I went for the hood just for the active mitigation on myself, and you know, I skip pipe because I know that the crest will be so amazing in this game if I can get it for myself. But I'm a little behind, and so at level 15 I'm considering tether bonus or the spirit's hero damage, and I decide that the scepter bonus will be really nice because I can scepter onto certain different targets. But in this situation, I'm considering relocating out or going in. The Lycan looked okay, but that was before the Skywrath nuke came out and he was locked down. So, you know, I was trying to abuse the fact that he was tethered up with BKB, but now in hindsight, I'm thinking the relocate was a better play. However, it could have went either way. It was mostly the fact that he just got caught out. Now this is gonna delay my items even more, and the game is pretty much slipping away from us. I'm standing in the correct position, like as you see before that fight happens. So you see that Lycan's farming bottom, right? I'm like farming near him on purpose, but also positioning like very defensively. Like I let my, you see here, you see what I did there? I know that he's gonna get ganked, but his map awareness is not as good. I'm thinking that I can relocate him out regardless, and our communication is not very good in the game. Like I'm talking in mic, and I realized that no one's like capable of listening because they were Spanish speaking and not really reactive. So you know, I'm like trying to prep myself in the right position to not get picked off by the smoke gank. And in this situation, I do have the right positioning. So I thought I really misunderstood this fight, thinking that we would be able to turn it. But because the BKB came out so early on Lycan, he was just destroyed by the magic damage. Because our sniper was so far, like it wasn't. It was a play that, like, I think most pro players would see, but like, it is a pub after all. So at this point, the game is basically over, I would say, because we lost all our timings into a lineup that's very good. So as you can just check by the net worth, like at this point, Lycan has no tools against PL. We, the sniper can get overwhelmed by PL, and then the axe just hard counters both our cores. So it's very, very, very difficult. But anyway, so my mindset here is like, get that solar crest. That's my next timing. I'm like, what can we do with this scepter tether bonus? Like, I'm telling Bad Rider, you know, maybe we can do something cute where we can tether 2 people. But he's like, it's probably not a good idea for you to tether into me when I lasso, and I agree. But I'm just letting him know because I'm being an active communicator, being like, you know, there could be that niche situation where 2 lassos could completely win the game in a weird way, you know. But I'm also thinking, okay, sniper, you get those instant snipe shots, the ones that do a little bit more damage in AoE and spread. I'm thinking line, we can use finger. So I'm kind of like trying to communicate with my teammates as much as I can about it, but again, our communication wasn't the greatest. I always position in my teammates as the role of the Wisp. We go for a pick off here, but it was a bait where they kind of wrapped around it and had vision. That's easy death from us. We're pretty much in desperation mode, so skipping through this. We can go much quicker than this. Yeah, they're pushing our base. Like, our heroes don't have a great defense. As the Wisp, again, need to relocate the axe call, but my sniper does have like 1200 HP, 1400 HP at this point. It's very hard. I would have to time it like preemptively, so, or like pretty much instantly. So yeah, we're just thinking about that. We're trying to split push up top because that's really the only play. Our team fight's not the greatest, and they do just get our wrecks. So we take a fight here. Okay, so this is a good fight. So in this situation, I see, look at the positioning. So first of all, as the Wisp player, I see that my bat's good. He uses spells. That's fine. Lycan, I probably never want to tether him unless he's just straight up right clicking. So in this situation, sniper is my highest DPS hero, and he's in a great position. So I feel confident to just tether him up and give him overcharge. And so in this situation, I'm just watching him, making sure that like I can help him do DPS, but at the same time the fight's kind of turning. The peel comes in, and again, I need to relocate him instantly, so I do. He does have a Shadow Blade, but that doesn't really matter because like at this point in the game, I have buyback. Other heroes have buyback, but if sniper dies, like, this is a pretty big problem for us. I need to just get him out of the fight, especially a losing one where they started buying back on their heroes. Now, yeah, the game is pretty much over at this point. Just fast forward through the end. Not much I can do at this point, and yeah, that's it. So, you know, even though we lost this game, I still felt that it was a good example of the idea and the perspective of a Wisp, and hopefully I provided some good analysis for you guys and inspired you to play it as well. This is a hero that's going to be very, very strong. You see that it's getting nerfed, or it's getting buffed every patch. Probably going to get nerfed soon, considering that he got like 1,000 buffs on top of each other. And also, you're going to see him a lot in the majors, TI, tournaments, getting banned out or getting picked, being countered. So understanding both sides of it, even if you don't play Wisp, knowing that, you know, how it's going to play out or what their mindset is, like you can do certain things to stop it. For example, some players will anticipate relocates on targets, and then they'll like try to they'll interrupt the relocate by jumping between the target and where they perceive Wisp to be, and then they'll stun in anticipation, and then that will cancel the relocate and pretty much screw over the counter gank. So like, always keep that in mind. But yeah, I thought I played well. I thought this was a good example. If you liked it, please subscribe, and then go to Twitch TV/LeftDota and leave a follow, because that's where you're going to see me playing live, and I do answer a lot of questions there. So thanks guys for watching. This was Fluff, and I'll see you later.